Good afternoon, everybody. It is 12:05 and I am live. Dr. Dan Lyons, Precision Chiropractic in Green Bay, Wisconsin. I've been getting a lot of Facebook messages. I've been getting a lot of calls and a lot of patients asking me questions about everything that's going on. And this is going to be the easiest way to answer it all at once. So, I know in a couple other videos I've talked about health and what health is. And health is very simple. It's not how you feel. Everybody wants to feel good, but heroin addicts feel good when they're high. That is not healthy. Health is about proper function. Every single cell in your body has a job to do, and if it's not doing what it's supposed to, you have a problem. Right now, you have no idea what your spleen, your gallbladder, your liver, your pancreas, your appendix are doing. You only know if they hurt. And if it hurts, it's probably not a good thing. But just because you don't feel them doesn't mean that they are doing what they're supposed to. If they're not, you're not healthy. And yesterday I had a patient in, Bill, I hope you're watching. Thank you for giving me a great topic here. And he was talking about one of his coworkers that he is staying away from because he is taking Remicade, but he's the picture of health. And I said, Bill, you can't be the picture of health if you're taking Remicade. He goes, what do you mean? This guy he's really fit. He's got, probably six-pack abs. It doesn't matter. If you are taking a drug every day, you are not healthy. Drugs do not make you healthy. I said this last week. If drugs made us healthy, then the person who took the most drugs would be the healthiest person on the planet. They're not. Okay? We take drugs to compensate for something that our body is supposed to be doing, that our body can no longer do, or for whatever reason, maybe it can, but it's not doing it right now and we need it to be done. Or we take them to save our lives. That is why we take drugs. So if you're taking Remicade, if you have Crohn's, ulcerative colitis, if you have rheumatoid arthritis, or are taking any immunosuppressive drug right now, then yeah, you should probably stay away from other people because you are susceptible. Your immune system is not doing what it's supposed to because you're taking a drug to shut it down so that you don't have the symptom that you don't want. And I've been getting questions. Scott messaged me today, asked me, there was a guy talking about, and he was wearing the scrub top, so he's important. So talking about zinc and quinine, and you get asked a lot about vitamin C as well. And do they work? I'm sure they do to some degree. I don't know. I haven't delved into all those studies and see, is it effective against the COVID-19 virus or not? But here's what I do know. If your body needs something, so if you're low on vitamin C, something in your body is not going to work right. And so then vitamin C does seem to have an immune boosting effect on it. Is it really boosting your immune system? No, it's just helping your body work the way it should. Same with the zinc. And, C is very, 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 very safe. All the water-soluble vitamins, the C's and the B's, are safe. If you take too much, you just get real bright yellow, expensive urine. That's it. Nothing dangerous there. So you're taking zinc and vitamin C. Do they boost your immune system? I don't think so. I think they just help it work the same way. Same thing with quinine. Any nutrient that your body needs, if you are deficient, you have a problem. That's going to affect your immune system. If you imagine a plate of spaghetti, every piece of spaghetti is touching everything else. And that's the way your body works. If something isn't working right, it's a drain on something else, and that means that is not working right. And that's why chiropractors, we do what we do. Because your brain runs the whole show, your nervous system runs everything. And if your spine's misaligned and it's affecting that nervous system, what we call subluxation, then you have a big problem. Because it doesn't matter if you're eating the best food in the world, if you can't digest and absorb it properly because your nervous system's affected, then you have a problem. That is just, it's like the physics of your nervous system, the physics of your body. So, but some things, like if you have a germ, if you have an infection that's a bacterial infection, you can take an antibiotic that can kill that. That is no different than stepping in front of a bus. The odds are you're not going to live very well or at all if that bus hits you, or a train or something like that. So there's cause and effect comes into a play. Is the cause and are the effect related? That's the hard part, because you don't know. You can't just open up your body and look inside and really see on a cellular level what's going on. So what's the best thing to take? You know, nothing wrong with hedging your bets and taking some vitamin C and drinking some extra Schweppes and some zinc. Is that going to help you? I don't know. The only way to know if any of the treatments, the ventilators, the hydroxychloroquine, the only way to know if the quarantine is going to work is to wait and see on the other side. You know, when we started doing this whole thing, I talked about statistics. It doesn't matter if it's 1 in a million for or against. If it's 1 in a million for, you know, like the lottery, and you're that one, hoorah! But the only way to know if you're going to be that one is to play the game. So it's all about proper function. And I left some papers in back. I want to talk. There's a lot of bad science out there, and this is the end part of the discussion. So, you know, right now the hydroxychloroquine is really getting badgered. It's being said it's unsafe, and a few, you know, anecdotal stories have been passed around saying that it's unsafe. I had one of those situations happen just out here in the hall a couple days ago where someone was saying that, oh, you know, it's unsafe because she had seen something on Facebook, and if it's on Facebook, it's got to be true, right? So that it wasn't safe. And I had another patient in the hallway say, you know, I've been taking it for years because I have Lyme's disease, so, you know, it's safe. You don't know. There's a lot of bad science out there, and if you just start Google bad science, and if you even go to Google Scholar and start looking there, there is a glut of bad science out there where people are publishing papers that can't be reproduced. And the thing about science is that if you mix two chemicals in the right ratio at the right temperature, you should get a third chemical. That is solid science. And if I come up with that discovery and publish it and publish my methodology and it's good science, then any of you should be able to do the same thing. But what we're finding is that that can't be done. And people, there's a lot of financial interest in this because people are looking to make a lot of money on this. And in the scientific world, you get grants and you get tenure, and there's a lot of, it's a sticky wicket. And we have to look at this. So hydroxychloroquine, has it been tested in a double-blind, peer-reviewed, randomized clinical trial on COVID-19? No. Has any of the things we're doing? No. Has a vaccine been tested? No. The vaccine hasn't even been safety tested that everybody's putting their faith in. And we won't know if it works until years from now, 2 years from now probably, because we have to get it out, you have to test it on a bunch of people, then you have to crunch all the data. But we do have a flu shot that we get every year, and we know that that is less than 50% effective. I mean, they admit that every year. And so we do also know, I just watched an interview with Bill Gates last night. He expects to make 200 billion, I'm sorry, he expects to gross. He put in 10 billion, he expects to get $200 billion back off of this. And once he said that, then he did a lot of trying to backpedal and talk about, oh, we're trying to save people and do this. You know, I'm sure that's part of it, but 190 billion, that's a lot of reasons to put a vaccine out. And then to try and make it mandatory that everybody get an untested vaccine so you can go back into society, that's kind of sketchy too. You have to, and I don't want anybody to take what I said at face value. Hi Donica, hi Carolyn, thanks for popping on. I don't want you to take everything I say at face value. I love it when people do, because I painstakingly go through what I'm going to say and what I read so that I'm being accurate. But I want you to do the work for yourself, because the only way I know things to be true is by doing the research and looking at it myself and using my head, using the intelligence and the skills that I've developed that God gave me and I worked on my own in order to pick through the data. And it, you know, right now the data does not make sense. When you say we have X number of deaths due to COVID-19 in this country, I don't even know what the number is. I quit looking, because it doesn't matter. Because if you test positive from this and you die from something else, like a car accident or a heart attack Or as we've heard from a number of other people, a baby that was born at 22 weeks, so wasn't going to live anyway, but it tested positive. So they count that as a COVID death? You're padding those numbers. And when someone else is suspected of having COVID-19 and dies, but they were never tested, and you're going to call that a COVID death, you're just inflating that number to prove your point, and that's not good science. Also, the way we test. I mean, if you go into the hospital and you are ill and need to be put in the ICU and put on a ventilator, if this person's positive and this person's negative, the treatment's the same. So why waste a test? We should be testing all the caregivers in the hospital, all the essential people, all the truck drivers that are going out on the road, delivering the food that you want and the goods that you want and the masks. We need to be testing the people, and then just random people. It's like every 17th person down the street, we just say, we're going to test you and see what it is. Because that's how we know how wide it is spread. And when we finally do that, I do my belief only, just have my logic and my years living and looking at stuff of this, and to say that we are going to see that the spread is far greater than we thought it was, which is going to make the seriousness far smaller, and that the death rate is going to shrink immeasurably, especially when we get out all the ridiculous, I got ate by a shark, but I was COVID-19 positive, so I'm a COVID death. Once we get rid of that and get down to a real number, then you're going to have something solid. It's just common sense. Be smart, be safe, especially if you are an at-risk individual, you're taking an immune suppressive drug, why would you tempt fate? But for the most of us, it's just another day, except we're quarantined. So thank you for all the feedback. I love you all, and hopefully we can all get together and have a hug and a beer soon. Bye-bye.